Before I go back to work tomorrow, I wanted to sit down, talk about stuff. I got some little snack going on here. I'm like almost done. Yeah, like I got some going on here, and then I got myself some matcha latte. This was actually coffee. Hi, how's everybody doing? We had a long holiday vacation in Korea, so we had Children's Day and Buddha's birthday off, which were Monday and Tuesday. And today's Tuesday. Today's the last day of the holiday vacation, which is kind of sad, but I took a trip to Busan, which is the city down south in Korea. Yeah, I had some good food. I had some good rest. I think I'm ready to go back to work now. The weather was pretty terrible throughout the whole trip, except one day, I think. But before I go back to work, I wanted to sit down and talk about Lausanne. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention in my last video. I am going back and forth from Korean to English. Yeah, Korean is my mother tongue if you are wondering about my nationality with my accent. I do feel comfortable speaking both in English and Korean, but it's just that all my bilingual Gyopos are going to understand. But when I'm speaking Korean, when I'm speaking English, so my Korean speaking ego and my English speaking ego, those are two different things. I feel like my English speaking ego is more like opened and ready to talk about stuff, less insecure. I'm like experiencing talking about stuff in Korean and English. So yeah, I'm gonna go back and forth. But how I feel right now in the most of the videos, I will be talking about stuff in English because of the reason I just mentioned. But yeah, here we go. So today I want to talk about self-discipline. I want to start with talking about the concept of treating yourself. Picture the image of treating yourself. Like the first image that comes to my mind is more like taking myself out and getting myself some expensive bags or like spa day, which is also fancy, like expensive. I want to start from saying all of those are wrong. Don't get me wrong because I love all of those. Actually, I treated myself with a camera. I just bought DJI Osmo Pocket 3 because everybody's talking about it. And then, you know, I was like, okay, let's see what's the fuss about it. I'm just saying I'm a big fan of treating myself with expensive things. I don't do that a lot because where the money, right? I don't have the money to start with. All of those images that you have in your mind, they all cost money. And if you think that you cannot treat yourself if you don't got the money, it's just crazy. That's just not fair. I want to say that even if you don't have money, you can be nice to yourself. I want to say that even if you don't have money, that doesn't mean you can't do anything nice for yourself. The best thing you can do for yourself, to yourself, is self discipline. The reason why I said self discipline is the best thing you can do for yourself is because you can do a lot of things through self discipline. So, for example, me right now, the reason why I could do all of this, like YouTube, studying Japanese, workout, and cook, these sound so basic, but I have a full time job. The reason why I could balance, sort of, um, is because of self discipline. If I didn't have self discipline, well, it's not even if. I didn't have self discipline. If I reflect on myself last year around this time, I had a full time job and w- w- that was it. Like, I couldn't do anything else except go to work. Like, yeah, I had the weekends, but then on the weekends I was busy, like scrolling through Instagram, YouTube, Reels, Shorts. Um, I had no self discipline or whatever. I was bed running every day. All these basic things that I'm doing right now. The reason why I can manage myself to thrive is because of self discipline. But then what's important here is that the mindset. The mindset should be I'm doing this because it's good for myself. Do not force yourself into doing it because the action should be derived from doing something because you know it's good for yourself. Talk to yourself kindly, but it's not only soft because there's logic. And if you understand the logic of doing something because it's good for yourself, it's firm. The logic is firm. So it holds a lot of power. Sit down and think about what you tell your loved ones. Me, I tell my parents all the time. Like every time I see my parents, I tell them to stop drinking because I know their habit of drinking after dinner every day, almost. It's not a lot. I'm not too worried, but then because of their blood pressure, yeah, I tell them stop drinking. I tell my friends around me, I tell my boyfriend to quit smoking. Not too often because I know it's hard, but I think I do it in a very subtle way. I don't just say it, but I just kind of imply. But anyways, now if you're done thinking about what you nag about to your loved ones, now think about if you're doing it, if you're taking those actions. Are you staying sober? Did you quit smoking? Are you working out? You nag people because you think those are good for them. If those are good for them, it's good for you too. Why aren't you doing it? Discipline doesn't have to be all mad and screaming at yourself. If you don't do this certain thing, you're a piece of shit. So my experience with discipline, I never say something harsh. I never say something mean to myself. I talk to myself very nice. I try to say a lot of nice things to myself, especially that I'm working on giving myself all the respect. And I don't do, oh, because you failed waking up 6 in the morning, you're a piece of shit. I just try not to think about it because what is it gonna do if I keep thinking about it and go about my day? Yeah, basically, I don't say anything mean to myself. That's it. Because I know I don't deserve anything mean. I deserve something better than mean. So if you're like me, if you're looking for motivation, because motivations are like it's a good push to myself. Um, if you go on YouTube and search for motivation videos, you will hear a lot of mad voices and they're like really intense and aggressive. Yeah, I think if you're having a hard time like trying, if you cannot try, like if you fail on trying, then it could be a good push. But in general, if you've been trying, because with self-discipline, you get to try a lot of things at once. For example, you have the whole morning routine. You need to wake up at 6 in the morning, do this, do that, and you fail one of that. You don't have to be self-destructive. Don't be mean to yourself just because you fail one of those. Just go on. Go about your day. If there's anything I can add to the video, knowing that change is not comfortable, I have it there if you see something that looks honestly a little crappy because that's like the first thing that I put on my wall so that I can wake up and look at it and remind myself. It says change is not comfortable. Change is uncomfortable. It is meant to be uncomfortable. If it's comfortable, it's not a change. So me, I wake up when I want to go back to bed. I remind myself that change is uncomfortable. It's about acknowledging your feelings and thoughts and tell yourself that change is uncomfortable. It is inevitable to feel uncomfortable. And if you are feeling uncomfortable, you're going the right way. So, long story short, build self discipline. Don't be mean to yourself just because you want to build self discipline. You can build self discipline while being nice to yourself. All of those self discipline, you should do it because those are good for yourself. As I said in the previous video, self discipline is the way to the happiness. And there we go. Yeah. The sun went down while I was filming. I'll see you in the next video. And until then, take care and be nice to yourself. Really, be nice to yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Okay? Okay, bye. Love, Shauna.